What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Kickstar401, and I'm back with another video today. And today we're going to talk about how to keep your kicks clean and how to preserve your sneakers. Now, I get a lot of questions on, how do you keep your kicks so clean, and how do you store them? How do you preserve them and all that? So I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of the things that I like to do to keep my kicks in the best possible condition. So, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel so you guys can check out more videos like this. And with that being out of the way, let's get into it. Now, first things first, after I wear my sneakers, the number one rule that I like to stick to is I like to clean them. Now, you don't have to go crazy and clean them, but when I'm done wearing my sneakers, especially if it's like a white colored outsole, I like to take them to the kitchen sink, the bathroom, whatever, and I like to clean up the bottoms, and I also wipe down the uppers, and any kind of scuffs or anything like that, I'll try to tend to that stuff. That way, next time I pull the sneaker out, it's nice and fresh and it's clean, it's ready to go. A lot of times if you let the dirt sit on the bottom of the sneaker, it's going to be harder to clean that off at a later time, depending on how long you let them sit for. So, if you get to cleaning them right after you wear them, they're most likely going to clean up a lot easier than if you let them sit. So it's a good practice to just kind of wipe your kicks down, clean the outsoles a little bit before you put them up in the box, put them up in your clear containers, whatever you guys have. I'm also going to touch on that later on in this video. So that's the first step that I like to take. Step two that I like to take, the cardboard inserts and the tissue paper. Now, obviously, we all know that the inserts help to keep the shape of the sneaker a lot better. I also like to put some tissue paper, just, normal tissue paper like this, the same kind that comes with the sneaker, from the retail. Also, you guys can use newspaper. That's something that I've used in the past. And, if you have sweaty foot, or if there's excess moisture in the sneaker, by putting the tissue paper or the newspaper inside of the sneaker, that's going to help to draw some of that excess moisture out of the sneaker. You also have to remember that, you want a certain amount of moisture in your sneakers, otherwise they'll dry out. But by using the tissue paper and the newspaper and the cardboard inserts, it's just good practice. So that's the second step that I like to take. Now, after I put the inserts and the tissue paper in, after I got my outsoles all cleaned up and I got the sneaker all wiped down, obviously from wearing your sneaker, depending on how you wear it, the laces are all loose, as you can see on this pair of Jordan 12s that I have. So what I like to do is I like to take the shoe and I like to factory lace the shoe back to the way it came when the shoe was purchased. As you can see on Jordan 12s, if your laces are loose and from your ankle moving from side to side, the top of the shoe here is going to want to bow out. And when that happens, especially on a Jordan 12, you guys can see there's a lot of creasing that happens on the side, and over time that'll just get worse and worse and worse. So after I got them all cleaned up, I got my inserts and my tissue paper back inside, I'm going to take my sneaker and I'm going to factory lace it back up. And that's also going to help to keep the shape of the sneaker to the way it was when you first bought it. So by factory lacing them up, you're also going to keep the top of the sneaker here pulled in closer on the ankle portion up here, and that's going to help to prevent some of the creasing on the side. So you just take the laces up like this, put them around, come through on the back side, and this is going to give you that loop from when you buy them at the store or on the sneakers app, usually a lot of the sneakers come with that factory loop like that. So I like to do that and then just kind of tuck it inside or let it hang out, whatever your preference is. But by taking these first 3 steps here, that's going to help to prevent the sneaker from creasing in certain areas. It's going to help keep the overall shape of the sneaker. So I live by those rules. Next time I take the sneaker out, it's almost like, you know, putting it on for the first time, because I'm taking apart the factory laces and I'm getting it ready to go. So it's almost like undead stocking the shoe every single time I want to wear it. Now, also, keep your shoes inside the box. I know a lot of you guys like to, you know, keep them out on display. You want to look at them, you know, but over time, you know, shoes, you know, they yellow, and, you know, it's due to, you know, the UV rays from the sun. So obviously, you know, you want to store your shoes in a dark, cool, dry place. If you do that, it's going to help to preserve your sneakers. Now, especially if you have, you know, a pair of Jordan 11s or something with that icy outsole, you're going to want to keep it away from light. You know, the light is going to help to turn them soles yellow over time. I mean, it's just something that happens on them. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, I mean, some people embrace it, some people hate it. I mean, I don't mind it. I actually think it makes some shoes look a little bit better when they're aged. But you definitely want to keep them out of direct sunlight or any other kind of light for that matter. Now, you don't want to put your shoes in a plastic bag. I've seen people put their shoes in a plastic bag before and thinking that that's going to help prevent them from yellowing and whatnot. And by putting them in a plastic bag, all you're going to do is dry them out. And your midsole is going to explode over time, because the shoe, it needs moisture in it to stay, you know, proper and firm. If the shoe dries out, you know, the Phylon midsoles here, you know, they tend to crumble, especially on like 3s and 4s. You know, all them OG pairs from back in the day, you know, most of them are all, you know, crumbled by this time. So definitely do not keep your shoes in plastic bags. I don't think it's a good idea. I personally don't do that, and I'm never going to do that. Now, as far as cleaning, you know, I mean, there's always a couple of different options. One option is, you know, the washing machine. Some people like to put the kicks in the washing machine. I do it myself on certain pairs. Obviously, there's some pairs that I just wouldn't put in a washing machine. You know, Reshoevn8r has the sneaker laundry system, which is really cool. I'd like to try that. I got myself these bags here, and these are just like mesh net bags. You know, you can take the sneaker and put the sneaker inside of these bags here, and it kind of just protects the sneaker when the sneaker goes into the washing machine. That way, you know, they can still be washed, you know, because it's just like a mesh net bag. So that's what I like to do. You got to make sure that if you're going to use some kind of detergent, you just use a small amount. You don't want to use too much, because if you use too much, it could ruin the sneaker. You know, you have to pay attention to the settings on the washing machine. You never want to wash them in anything but cold water. Cold water is the best for washing sneakers. So if you want to toss them in the washing machine, you know, that's great to do. Just be conscious of the materials on the sneaker. Make sure you don't have it on warm or hot water. You know, you could get some sole separation if you do that. Now, sticking with the cleaning, I like to use, you know, these different brushes that I have here. Obviously, as you can see, I have a Crep basic cleaning kit here on hand just for today's video. And, you know, on the soles, on the outsoles of the sneaker and the midsoles, I like to use a more harder bristled brush, because that's going to get and take off some of that deep staining and them deep dirt stains on the sneaker. As you get up to the midsole and the upper of the sneaker, I like to use this brush here. This brush here is, you know, it's a soft bristle brush. You know, it creates a lot of soapy suds on the sneaker. So, you know, that is best for the uppers. Now also you have your repellents and your sneaker cleaners. As you can see, I have some old ones from Foot Action just kind of laying around for the video. I have been using, this Crep cleaner, and this has been working really, really good. It's similar to Reshoevn-Ator. You just get a bowl of warm water and you put a couple of squirts in there and use one of the brushes, and it works great on the sneakers and they come out looking really, really fresh. So last thing I want to get into is the Crep Protect. Now, I've used this on a lot of my sneakers and I like this product. I mean, it's great. It keeps your sneakers from getting soaked if you're out in the rain and things like that. And it really, really works well. As far as, resisting the stains and whatnot, I try to be conscious of when I have a really nice pair of shoes on, not to scuff them and whatnot, but it does work, for like dust and, dried up dirt and stuff like that. It works great. So I highly, highly recommend Crep. I always have some of this laying around so I can put them on my sneakers. So, those are my basic tips on how to keep your kicks clean, how to store them, and how to preserve them, basically. If you just take those simple steps, you can keep your kicks clean. You can keep them in, near dead stock condition if you only wear them a handful of times, and it's just some simple rules to follow, and, your kicks will stay nice for a lot longer and you can enjoy them for a lot longer. So I hope I covered everything in this video. If you guys have any questions, hit me up down below in the comment section, and, I can answer any questions that you guys have. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's your boy Kickstar 401, and I'm out. Peace.